St. James begins his epistle with a startling command. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials. He does not speak of joy after the hardship, but joy in the very moment of pressure and struggle. Why would a Christian rejoice in tribulation? Because trials are not signs of God's distance. They are instruments in His hands, shaping the believer into spiritual strength and maturity. Scripture gives us countless examples. Joseph endured betrayal, slavery, and prison, yet every trial prepared him for the mission God had planned. Job lost everything, yet through suffering, he encountered God more deeply than ever before. Daniel faced lions, the three youths faced fire, and each discovered that God's presence is most visible in adversity. St. James teaches that trials produce endurance, and endurance forms a faith that is whole and steadfast. Temptation, too, becomes a place of purification. It exposes what we trust, what we desire, and where our hope truly rests. The early Coptic fathers echoed this truth. Saint Anthony the Great taught that no one can enter the kingdom without passing through many temptations, because temptation reveals the strength of the soul. Saint Athanasius wrote that the devil fights hardest against those who are drawing closer to God. Saint Cyril of Alexandria explained that tribulations are not punishments, but divine tools that refine the believer as gold is refined in the fire. In the Coptic tradition, suffering is never meaningless. It is a participation in the life of Christ, who himself faced hunger, rejection, betrayal, and the cross. He did not avoid suffering. He transformed it. This is why St. James can speak of joy. Not joy in pain, but joy in purpose. Joy in knowing that God is working in the unseen. Joy in the certainty that trials produce endurance, and endurance produces a faith that cannot be shaken. Every believer will face tribulations and temptations, moments of weakness, moments of fear, moments of pressure. But these moments are not the end of the story. They are the beginning of transformation. When the Christian endures with faith, temptation becomes victory. Trial becomes growth, and suffering becomes a doorway to deeper communion with God. St. James calls us to see trials not as obstacles, but as invitations to trust, to grow, and to discover the joy that only God can give.